Hi everyone, it is Fitz with your daily delivery. Hope you're doing well. I am very good. We're going to talk about basketball in this DD. Now look, by the way, we had a women's basketball podcast yesterday. You might want to check that out. My nephew, Ethan Fitzgerald, with the analysis of the women's program, mostly about Aoka. Good stuff. The men play tonight, 8 p.m. at Baylor. And we're going to talk about men's basketball as we continue to kind of look down the road. We'll be covering this game. Ryan Gilbert's there. But now I'm going to talk about some other stuff going on in the background. But first, I got to remind you to subscribe to this YouTube channel. It's very important. And if you're not, I'm going to give you my look of tremendous disappointment. That was it. On with the DD. Hey, Jerome Tang has admitted what he was trying to do just didn't work. And it's not worked around the country. A few programs have had success with it, but wholesale changes of your roster using the portal is kind of mixing a bunch of ingredients that could explode. And they've kind of been a dud for K-State, to be honest. And that's not good, but now changing course is not easy either. Why? Because your entire roster has built around the idea that you're going to bring in players from the portal. Honestly, at the start of the season, they were all in. We had a meeting with them and they talked about how they're only going to really recruit the highest level high school guys and go through the portal. But that now has been proven not a good idea. But he's got to change paths in Jerome Tang in midstream, and that's going to cause some difficulties. He has said that he'd like to keep about half of the players that could be returning to return. He wants to have them as the core to build around. Most notably, David Castillo. He's exactly the kind of kid you want to build around. And we're seeing him get more and more playing time, which I imagine will happen again in Waco because they want to get him plenty of experience for the future. Who the other players are that he would like to keep, I'm not sure. It's an evolving situation. Players might buy in as they go, and other players have basically bought out and said, I'm not playing this game. I'm going to show up to practice whenever I want, in whatever state I want, and that's the way it's going to be. It's kind of a mess. It really is. But he needs to find a way forward. So with the roster expanding to up to 15 scholarships, I think Jerome Tang's literally looking at it this way. This will be the first year in a step of having cycles coming through. You're going to have 5 players return that are going to help build your program. In the future, which I think is probably too late for him to get on this year, you'll have about 5 players come into your program as freshmen or new players maybe out of junior college. And then the other 5 will be supplementing with the transfer portal to fill in the gaps. And that's the big difference. They will use the portal to plug the major holes and develop from within, which is a good plan. But it doesn't happen overnight. You don't have that foundation. So Kansas State is going to need to be in the portal next year. You need to understand that. How they approach it, though, is what I'll be interested in. Are they just going to shop with money, or are they going to shop trying to find out who's a really good fit and who is going to help, not our team necessarily, as much as our locker room? Because I feel like this mesh of personalities has been a disaster. They haven't fit together like that first team did. But if he starts sorting this out by having a form in which he can pour the new talent in, that should work, in theory. It's all moving so fast. Who knows what'll be of the portal and the NIL in 2 years? We'll find out. But for now, this is the best way forward, and it's going to be a slow process unless you want him to go 100% into the portal and try again. If you do, well, you're braver than I am.